You're locked in with Dexter Johnson, and this is Gospel Deets, and we are bringing the hottest deets to the streets. Gospel Deets, Gospel Deets, Gospel Deets, Gospel Deets, bringing the gospel to the streets, yeah. Bringing the gospel to the streets, yeah.
Gospel Deeds is brought to you by Dre's Body Delish, Edge Accessories, Trappings Wear, Miko, Page Magazine, Wayne's Discount Center, and Caribbean Gospel TV.
Alright, Gospel Deets. When I deal with my family. Listen, man. Been such a long time. I feel like a long time in a soon. As a matter of fact, never soon yet? No. Sometimes. But such a blessing. And here we have our overseas guest, Richard Dietrich, Pastor Richard Dietrich. He's a longtime friend of Youth for Christ, and he comes here year after year doing evangelism and missions. Now, you might wonder what I do in my spare time. These are one of the things, and you get to see those highlights real soon. And I said, no, we're going to learn about the man himself who takes this team, organizes them, way from all over America, Texas, and all of these places, we can't even call them name. You get what I'm saying? And so we're going to learn about his history a little bit, what he's doing with the mission, the next generation mission. Richard Dietrich, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, Dexter. It's good to be here.
Oh my God, it's always a pleasure having you in Jamaica. Yep. Now listen, we just want to learn about you a little bit. How did you get involved with Youth for Christ?
Oh, that goes back to Project Serve back in 1987.
1987?
Yeah, first time I came. I came here with some friends, and they said, you need to see this place, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I got here, and I just had a really good connection with the people, and just a real passion for the gospel when I was here. And so God led me to Jamaica. I mean, it was just a God thing. And Project Serve was doing a bunch of ministry and building and construction kind of things. But then when they had me come, they said, hey, you know, those puppets you have and that ministry, that might work in Jamaica. I went, okay. And so from that, we started bringing bands and music and sharing, interchanging with music and sharing our faith. So.
Oh, so this is about how long now? You said 1987?
Yeah, so 87, what is that, 30
enough,
years.
Something.
Yeah.
Need to check that for me.
Yeah.
You get me? So you've been doing ministry over 30 years.
Yeah.
Now, how does it feel going? Because I've been with the mission team a couple of times. You go to some of the most inner city communities in Jamaica.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
You know, we've really been welcomed. It's been awesome. It's great to have a chance. And you know, I just have a passion to see people come to know Christ.
Yeah.
And that connection that they have with the Lord, and how can we help with that? We're just the mouthpiece, right? The Holy Spirit does the work in the life, and so that's what I see us like with each team. That God allows us the privilege of being involved in His work, you know, and partnering with people from Jamaica in their ministry that they're already doing. So it's not like we're coming to do the ministry for them. We're doing it together.
Together, yeah.
It's a partnership. We even have a church, or some churches that have partnered with churches in the States, and there's exchanges going on, and all kinds of neat things. So.
All right, you mentioned teams just now. I know you come here like 2 to 3 times a year.
Right.
Now, where in America are some of your teams from?
Everywhere in the USA, from California to Florida, up into New York. We've had some come. We've come from Arizona and Minnesota, far in the north. So all over the USA.
How do you manage to get all these people, because America is big.
Yeah.
How do you get all these people from these states to do this, to be a part of the next generation?
A lot of it has to do with our, so I was a youth pastor for 28 years in the USA, and the connections through the denominations converge. I was a Southwest coordinator for youth ministries over churches in Texas, Arizona, and California. Connections in Minnesota go back to when I was a kid.
Oh.
And so those are way back. And that was another denomination I was in. So the connects with the youth pastors and churches across the United States are strong. And so that's where the connect comes from. I fly there, I meet with them, I talk to them about coming and joining us in ministry.
Yeah, and they've welcomed the idea
every time.
doing missions in
Yeah.
Jamaica. Certainly appreciate the work you're doing. Now, you mentioned something about being a pastor for 28 years. Talk to us about your Christian journey. How is it that you became a Christian?
Yeah. So I had this friend, and he was a guy that lived down the street from me, and he said, hey, why don't you come with me to church? And I remember going like, church? What am I going to do there? And I was really
No interest.
no interest at all. And so I went with him to church. We wound up going to this crusade. It was a 7-day crusade, and we went the first night. I remember Wayne, my friend, said, we'll just go. They got really good music. I'm thinking it's going to be a rock band. It was a country band. The guy got up and started to speak. And he started talking about the need that we have in our heart for Christ. And the need that I had. And it felt like he was talking right to me. You know how it is? I mean, I felt it in my spirit. And so he gave an invitation. All my friends were there from school.
Yeah.
I had invited them, to come with me. And I felt embarrassed, so I didn't go forward that night.
Oh.
All my friends did. So now I'm with all these Christian friends.
Wow.
I'm going like, oh my. So I come back 2 nights later. I sit in the very back of the auditorium at the high school. And I had to go through the whole concert again. And the guy gets through and he's sharing the gospel again, speaking right to me. And all of a sudden I realized I need to know this Jesus he's talking about. And so I wound up running to the front.
Running, like literally?
Running, literally. I think I hit a little old lady on the way up. Got to the front and I was just weeping.
Oh.
Because my sins were washed clean. That's the change. I'm one of those transformation people that went from nothing to Christ.
You left from the back of the auditorium, straight to the front running.
Right to
So
the
you realized that there was a void in your life
Oh yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
But all along you've been living. This was what age?
Oh, I was about 14 when that happened.
And all that time you've been living and didn't realize that something was missing.
Yeah, no, I had no clue except I knew there was an emptiness in the heart.
Yeah.
And there was obviously sin in the life, that needed to be taken care of, and I had no way to do it myself. And then I heard that Jesus would do that for me.
So you left age 14.
Yeah.
Stayed in the church, became a pastor.
Oh yeah.
Then from that, through relationships, you began traveling the world just to preach
Yes.
the gospel of Jesus Christ.
The Lord called me to do it. And so the way this has worked is it's like if God calls,
Yeah.
I say yes.
Yeah.
I don't say, wait a minute, I want to think about it. It's yes, Lord, what do you want me to do?
That's it.
That's how I live it.
Oh, just like that. Simple.
Yeah. It's a simple step into the faith and see what the Lord's going to do next. And he's always directed the path. It's amazing to me. I've seen him do incredible things on the island. We were one time going up to a concert up on the hill. It was pouring rain. There's water coming down the middle of the road.
It's here.
Here, yeah, I'm driving the van up there. It's on a dirt road. There's water coming down there. We're gonna die going up here. My students go, well, let's pray about it.
Yeah.
We're driving up. We get to the top of the hill. The clouds part. A whole bunch of people come out and accept Christ.
That's it.
Powerful stuff. The Holy Spirit working.
Sounds like your most memorable trip.
Yeah, well, so many. There are so many. I mean, I could go back over the years and just one after another after another.
Over 30 years. I definitely appreciate you so much for all that you've been doing. Now, you grew up where, though? You were born where?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, so it's cold, freezing weather. No. Jamaica was warm.
No. How did you get to Poland?
Well, Poland's a whole other story. I was in Arizona at a church. We were helping youth pastors stay in their ministry. I got a call from a friend, Bob Dunn, and he goes, hey, I got someone here from Poland. They want to know if you'll come over and do some of Kirk Franklin's music. Kirk Franklin's music, yeah.
Really? So you did that?
So I fly to Poland to play guitar in this gospel band, right? I get there. They've got 350 Polish students at this retreat learning to sing gospel music, not believers. So not at all. But there's a fascination with gospel music.
Wow.
So they're doing this whole thing, and they're up front and they're sharing. They said, well, here's why we do our music. They shared the gospel. 150 of the 300 came to faith. They did a concert Sunday night. 1,400 people, 700 decisions that night.
Wow.
Phenomenal. They've got a group that's called Gospel Joy. They became #2 in their version of The Voice.
Oh.
Okay, so that all developed from that.
Yeah.
That led me to the side trip to Jari, which led to the thing with my wife's family and the connection.
No, so you got married in Poland?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
We met
okay,
in college.
okay.
Yeah, no, before that. No, but it led to a whole another ministry development in Poland. That took
How long
place.
you married for?
What's that?
How long you were married for?
Okay, so this is year 44.
You remember, you sure?
Yes, I double checked before I came down. I got to get the presents right before the anniversary, so yeah.
All right, so interesting story. Thank you so much again,
Great.
Dietrich, for your faithfulness to the mission in Jamaica through the Next Generation Mission. It's been such a wonderful time being with you. All right, Gospel Deets, I got my good friend Savannah here from, where are you from again?
Arizona.
Arizona, that's Texas? Where's Arizona?
United States.
United
Arizona.
States.
Yeah.
Arizona is like a
It's
state.
its own state, yeah.
Its own state?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't know about Phoenix Suns, the basketball team, you know. But Savannah is here with me with the Next Generation Mission team. And she's going to just tell us about her experience with traveling with Jamaica and Jamaica Youth for Christ. Savannah, how has it been for you?
I love doing this mission trip. I went on it last year too, and it was one of my favorite experiences, and I couldn't miss out on this one. I love being able to go into schools freely, because we can't do that. We can't share the gospel freely in public schools in the United States.
Oh.
But here we get the chance to, and I think that's just an amazing to see all the children there worshiping and singing along with us, all to God. And I think just it's such a cool experience seeing everybody clapping along with the songs that we're singing along with the puppet shows, and being able to see everyone that we have been able to introduce Jesus Christ to and continue showing them who he is.
Wow. Can you just share with me your most memorable experience since you've been here?
Ooh.
Or maybe last year or now?
Okay, yeah. I love going into the little kid schools, so like the infant schools or the primary schools. Those are so much fun. And I know this morning I had a girl, and she wanted to sit on my lap the whole time, and so we sang together and we talked about God together and had fun. And I love connecting with people, so being able to connect with her was a lot of fun.
All right, thank you so much for making the sacrifice.
Yeah, of course.
Coming to Jamaica just to share the gospel.
Yeah.
Now, just before you go, you gotta say what you learned in Jamaica. Have you learned anything?
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yeah.
And what does wagwan mean? Do you know?
That is.
You don't know what it means?
I don't. I haven't caught a lot of things.
It means
but
what's up?
What's up?
What's
Wagwan.
happening? Wagwan.
Wagwan.
All right, guys, Savannah. All right, guys, so we got the queen with us. This is Elizabeth. You know? Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, Dexter.
Are you okay?
I'm amazing.
Oh, you're enjoying the sun?
It's amazing.
I know you're used to it where you're from, right?
Yes, dry though.
Dry.
Not the humidity.
So you really prefer Jamaica, right?
I do, because my skin feels so good.
Oh my God, her
Yes,
skin feels
I'm not
good.
all wrinkled here.
All right, you're here on missions with the Jamaica Youth for Christ team, the Next Generation
Yes.
team. How has it been for you?
This is my second year, and I have to say, even better than last year.
Oh.
There's something about this island that just warms my heart.
Oh.
I really feel that there is an opportunity for you guys, and we were praying this afternoon about this, that Jamaica can actually be this huge beacon of light for the entire globe.
Whoa.
Because I think you've experienced God here more than most other countries.
Yeah.
You're open to it, and the fact that we can share it to these little kids and plant the seed, it's amazing to me. And the other thing that I love is that there's a spirit of contentedness here that I don't find in the United States. And so that for me teaches me something that I can take home to my own family. Because whether you live up in the hills or you're down here in the informal communities, there's a spirit of love and contentedness, and you can feel that. So that really speaks to me.
It's so amazing. They're sharing their experience, how warm it is here. But they really love the evangelistic approach. They really love that experience with the kids, the teens, the communities. Now, be honest.
Yeah.
Going into some of these inner city communities, what we call, do you feel like scared or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Not one
Fearless.
time. Not one time. I wouldn't say I'm fearless. I would say that there's just, there's a peace here. So I have never felt anything other than just welcome and love, and
Plus, she got me as her bodyguard, so she's fine.
We only choose the best.
All right, just before you go, talk to me about one of your most memorable experiences since you've been in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to share my friend Tierney's experience that I'm a little bit a part of. So last year when we were at one of the informal communities, they called it, we did a night show. And there was a little girl that came up and she started to dance up front, and she had such a gentle spirit, and she just danced, and we got to know her. And it turns out that the next day we went to church, we led a show at the church, and she and a bunch of other kids from that night show came. And I think that really spoke to our teenagers, that we can really go out and share the gospel, and it really will plant a seed. So they all came to church, and they hadn't been to church because of COVID. So they kind of returned. And this girl had, we actually ended up praying over her with the whole church, and she had cancer. And I believe it was like a leukemia. Oh. And it wasn't a good scenario. Wow. But my friend Tierney chose her to take home in prayer in her spirit. She's prayed for her for a year, and we didn't think we'd see her. Again, this morning.
Wow.
At the elementary school, she walked up to Tierney and said, "Do you remember me?" And she was like, "Terrain?" And she said, "Yes." And they hugged, and she told her that she's doing amazing. So that prayer came to fruition in a year, and Terrain remembered us too.
Wow.
And I think and we're going to the college tonight, and there was a young man that gave his life last year and was really struggling to find something deeper, and so I'm really praying to see him tonight.
Whoa.
So Michael, if you're out there, go to church.
All right, you hear how passionate they are about just sharing the gospel and love of Jesus Christ. Now, just before you go, you got to tell me something in Jamaica.
Can I tell you about what I've learned?
No, I need to hear you speak Patwa. Yeah.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yaman.
All right. Yeah. Yaman. You know what Yaman means? No? No? All right.
Tell me.
Yaman, you just agreeing. You say yes. Okay, no problem.
Yaman.
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 All right, guys. Elizabeth, for you.
Thank
all
you.
Right, thank you so much.
All
right, that's for this. So we got one of the masterminds behind all of this. He's been in Jamaica for over 10, 15, 20 years?
25.
25 years. This is Pastor Chris, my friend. How are you, Pastor Chris?
I'm doing good, Dexter. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. We're here at one of the children's homes. I know we're just sharing the gospel. The team is over there doing their thing. But Pastor Chris is just going to talk to us a little bit. He's just going to share with us. I mean, he's been here for 25 years. Why 25 years? Why do you keep coming back to Jamaica just for missions?
Well, Jamaica, the reason why we come here is because it's so open to the gospel. Yeah. I've spoken in 23 countries around the world on 4 different continents, but we always come back to Jamaica because it's perfect for students to be able to share the gospel with their age group and their fellow peers. And it's also amazing to see the hospitality and the openness to the gospel, not only at the schools, but in the families, in the streets. And so we come here every year.
Well, of course, you're here every year. Now, talk to me about some of the challenges that you face as a group when you're doing this kind of mission.
On any trip, whether it's Jamaica or anywhere else, it's going to be a spiritual battle. Anytime you're presenting the gospel, Satan's right there to try to go after you. So one of the core things that we do happens before we even get down on the island is we try to build and foster a sense of teamwork. Everybody knows everybody else's testimony. We work together. The dramas are just as much for the Jamaicans as it is for us to be able to build a team and to be able to work together and know how each other moves and how each other speaks. We also do the puppets and So all these things are part of a team building process that allow us to come down here as one unit serving God with a focus on the mission.
So you realize they got a little package, right? So it's puppets, drama, music, testimonies, and the word.
Yes.
And they deliver that sometimes within 50 minutes, sometimes an hour, so even 2. And you'll see it's just an amazing experience when I'm with the team. Now, Pastor Chris, you've been doing this for so long.
Yes.
What keeps you inspired in doing this?
The thing that keeps me inspired is an old saying that I heard a long time ago, and it's at this broken world that we live in, as hard as it is for us as Christians, it is the only hell we'll ever know. However, this very same world, our hell, is the only heaven non-Christians will ever know. And it's a burden for me, and it's a burden for the team not to allow our hell be someone else's heaven. We want to expose every single person on Jamaica, in Europe, in Africa, and of course in the United States to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Oh, Pastor, you see the passion in his eyes, you hear it in his voice. He gets really animated when he's doing the missions in the nights as the moderator every night. But differently, Pastor Chris, I just want to know, is KFC the best thing for you?
KFC is not the best thing for the body, but it is wonderful for the soul.
All right. Just before you go, just share with us one of your most memorable experiences.
Oh,
I know there are many, for you especially.
Yeah, there are so many.
Yeah. Maybe in recent times.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, there's been so many students and adults and people that have come to Christ. I've had many that have come back and said, hey, I remember when you guys came down here 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But honestly, the most memorable thing for me is over the years, getting to know people like Dexter, getting to know people at Jamaica Youth for Christ, getting to know pastors throughout the community, and being able to work side by side as they reach their community for Christ. And so the whole thing's memorable.
The whole experience.
Oh,
all right.
And Devon House rum and raisin ice cream.
Yeah, they make sure they go to Devon House every year. All right, Pastor Chris, thank you so much for your time. This is Gospel Deets. So just give a shout out, give a blessing, to the people, the audience that's watching. Just give them a blessing.
All right. If you are watching this, that means you are a privileged few. So you want to be able to turn into this, you want to subscribe, you want to hit that bell, you want to do everything in your power to tell everybody about this channel, because this channel's goal is to reach the community for Christ and to expose things that God is doing in the community. So make sure you share this. Plus, we got a good-looking guy over here named Dexter. He's a pretty good drummer too, so stay up with him.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Blessings. To the Gospel Deets family, this is Richard Dietrich. Yes, this is why I post what I post on my status at times with the kids dancing. We're doing ministry on the road. And ministry in Mark, of course. You understand this, isn't it? So, tune in. Next week, we'll see you. Big up. Upload.